Welcome everybody. Today in this class we will be discussing the basics of the Newton laws of gravitation. We know among three basic forces of the nature, gravitation is the one of the basic force, and we know it is the weakest force of the all possible kinds of the forces when compared with the electromagnetic forces and the nuclear forces. We also know that it's a long range force and it acts between every two particles who are having mass. We know every particle in nature is having some mass, maybe big or small. Therefore, between every two bodies of the nature, of the space and universe, there is a gravitational force. To identify how much gravitational force is there, Newton proposed an empirical formula basing on the observations that the gravitational force of attraction, which is always of course a force of attraction, is directly proportional to the product of the masses and is inversely proportional to the square of the distance of separation. That means if there is a particle m1 and there is another particle m2, between them there is a separation r, the gravitational force between them is directly proportional to product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance of separation. We can eliminate the proportionality using a constant called universal gravitational constant, shown with a letter capital G, m1 m2 divided by r square. Capital G, who is called as a universal gravitational constant, is a proportionality constant, and it doesn't depends on the values of the f, m1 and m2. In fact, its value is universally constant over the entire universe. It's independent of the even the medium also. This law is called as Newton law of gravitation. We can write the units and dimensions of universal gravitational constant capital G by writing the formula for the capital G as force into square of the distance by m1 and m2. So if you want to write the SI unit of this universal gravitational constant, we can write as force is measured in Newton, distance is measured in meter square, mass is measured in kilogram, as there are two masses, kilogram square. It is experimentally proved that the value of the universal gravitational constant is 6.67 into 10 power minus 11 in the SI system. That is nothing but a Newton meter square and a kilogram power minus 2. Even we can write the dimensional formula for this quite easily by using the same formula that F is equal to G m1 m2 by r square. That implies G is equal to F r square by m1 and m2. We know that F is nothing but equal to m into acceleration. Acceleration is nothing but rate of change of velocity, where velocity is rate of change of displacement. Basing on that, we can write force dimensional formula as mlt power minus 2. R is being length again, L square represented with L. M is mass represented with m square. So we can get a dimensional formula of m power minus 1 L cube t power minus 2. This is one of the specific physical quantity who is having the negative dimensions of the mass. We can see a power minus 1. So this is one of a special physical quantity who is having the negative dimensions of the mass. So that is regarding the Newton's law of gravitation, that there will be a gravitational force existing between every two bodies because every body is having mass, and that gravitational force is directly proportional to product of the masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance. And I would like to remind that gravitational force is always a attractive force. It will never repel any another body. Say for example, you are having one body of mass m1, another body of mass m2. Now m1 attracts m2 towards it with a certain force F. Its value is G m1 m2 by r square, where r is the distance of separation. You need to also know that M2 attracts M1 also with the same magnitude of the force. You might have noticed that these two forces are equal in magnitude, opposite in direction, but acting on two different bodies. Acting on two different bodies. Therefore, they are not going to cancel each other. They won't cancel each other. So, gravitational force won't cancels between the two bodies just because they are acting on the two different bodies. Capital G, who is called as a universal gravitational constant, is constant over the entire universe and it won't change with the medium. Would like to further describe that, say for example, there is one body whose mass equal to m1. There is a body whose mass is equal to m1. Between the body mass m1 and another body m2, there is a kind of a force of attraction. Now let us keep a third body between them. The presence of the third body is not going to influence the force between any of the two bodies. Let there is a certain force between these two bodies. Now, if I have kept a third body in between them, the force between these two bodies earlier is F. Now also that is going to be the same F. That's not going to be changed. The presence of a third body is not going to influence the force between the existing two bodies. But what extra now it happens? Now on M1 there is a force of attraction due to M2. There will be a new force of attraction due to M3 also. Therefore there is more force acting on each body, but the force existing between any two bodies is not going to be changed because of the presence of a third body. Say for example you are having a body M1. Now there is another body M2. On M1 now M2 apply a force of attraction. Say for example that is F2. Now there is another body M3 comes into the picture. Now on M1 there is a new force acting F3. New force is acting because of the new body, that is fine. But the force between M1 and M2 is F2 even in the presence of the third body. But what is the resultant that is going to happen now? On M1 now, there are more forces. There are more forces. What are the more forces are? Earlier there is only F2, but now F2 and F3. As there are two forces are there, we can find out the resultant force between these two forces using the vector laws of addition called parallelogram law. We can write F resultant as root of F1 square, F2 square and 2F1 F2 cos theta. Thus, F resultant is greater than that of F2 or else F3, but the force between two bodies is not going to be affected because of the presence of a third body. Thank you. Let us continue this discussion in the next lecture.